Hello everybody. So, I want to react to this Frank Tufano video because I am getting sick and tired of hearing about the fatty liver or liver failure, whatever the heck he says it is. Just unplugging this charger. I'm going to explain in depth what I think made his liver fail, if in fact it did fail, which, come on, all that meat is not going to make your liver fail. Come on, even 300 years ago, we were eating way more meat than anything else because meat was, we could preserve it. We could, add salts to it to preserve it. Like, we knew how to cure it. We're not doing that anymore because we have refrigerators, And I think even during the times that people got ice boxes, it was still kind of hard, right? Like, the ice could melt. Yeah, I don't think we fully, because doctors were even telling you if you started to gain a bunch of fat 300 years ago, they tell you to cut out the starches like the potatoes and go on an all-meat diet. Michael Eads himself even mentions this. So I'm going to tell you what I think really happened with his liver. He's very far away. So what I'm going to do is actually move into my other room here, close the door over, and it's a sliding door. So why? I don't know. It's stupid. Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask why they made it that way. They just did. All right. I'm just going to sit here on my bed, and we're going to do Frank Tufano.
There is an overwhelming amount of things we need to keep track of to maintain our health in this modern world, whether it's as direct as pollutants in the water supply or as mischievous as the plethora of disinformation available to us, whether that's
Yeah, you're spreading disinformation, if you want to call it that. It's actually misinformation.
online, in a book, your local snake oil salesman. Many people focus on perfecting one aspect of their health, typically diet, and ignore the other ones.
Because diet is the worst aspect, the most unhealthiest aspect of our lives. I'm not gonna deny that everything else is bad too, but the diet is the number one because of agriculture. The practices that we've incorporated, it's horrible. Like, it's just horrible. And you're not doing any better, Frankie, eating a standard American diet. Just saying. Just saying.
We're going to focus on today, including diet, water quality, EMF exposure.
You're still eating standard American diet. Don't tell me you aren't, because you are.
Sunlight, exercise, air quality, and sleep. Because even if you have a 100% perfect diet, yes, that certainly helps. If the other aspects are not correct, it can be difficult to become optimally healthy, and on a more important scale.
I can agree, but Frankie, you're not healthy. You're eating standard American diet. You're beyond healthy.
If you are having any health issues, to ultimately recover and feel better. One significant thing to note is that many of my videos come from the perspective,
and not in a good way, by the way. He's not healthy. He's actually, I should say, below healthy. You can't call yourself healthy eating standard American diet. You just can't. I don't care what dietitian comes screaming at me in the comments. You cannot convince me that you are healthy on the standard American diet. Because the fact that you try to, you're just projecting, honey. I think you're just projecting because, you're projecting. Is that projecting? Hang on. I mix words up sometimes. Bear with me. You can't be healthy eating carnivore. You can't be healthy. That's definitely projection if you say that. Because you need a balance of everything. You wish that could work. You wish. You're trying that right now. I know that. And guess what? Not working up for you too well, is it? By the way, if I say ouch at any point, it's because I don't know if I bruised my ankle on something or what, but it's a little tender, so and it feels kind of weird. So,
of being near liver failure and having severe digestive issues. So
you weren't in liver failure because of carnivore. By the way, Frankie, all I had to do was incorporate a very small amount of liver into my diet every day. 3 to 4 little itty bitty pieces. Guess what? The blood is coming to my face, to my extremities, my feet, including that. I think that's also why my ankle feels funny. My left side in particular has been quite, not numb in a traditional sense that you can't feel anything, but you don't feel anything if it's a light of enough touch. You can't feel it. That was how it was. But I think the liver is actually trying to bring some of that back, the proper blood flow back. And yeah, I feel like circulation is returning. Excuse me. I have no more acne. I didn't need a drug to get rid of my acne, Frankie. I have a few little marks, okay? But they're not like these giant welts on my face with disgusting blackheads or whatever on them. No, I don't have that anymore. Don't have that anymore. Just little bumps here and there. And then even if I get an itch around those areas, I can scratch. And sometimes I'll get a little speck of something come out. It won't even bleed because it's not well formed yet. So I just end up getting like a piece of dirt or something out of that area before it can even get in there and infect it. So there you go, Frankie. It's your loss. You were eating standard American diet and you got yourself into that position. You decided to take the freaking Accutane. I'm sure your doctor warned you about it, but you blindly went with it, didn't you? Because the doctors I heard that the doctors even warn you about Accutane. If the doctor didn't warn you, stupid doctor. Okay? Then I do blame the doctor. But you put this on yourself, Frankie. You did this to yourself.
when I go over this stuff, this is like, if you're on...
Carnivore does not make your liver fail. Okay? If you're going to eat rabbit starvation diet, then, especially long term, yeah. No wonder you were gouging yourself with honey like shoving honey into your mouth, pouring gallons of honey down your throat, wondering why you felt like crap. Yeah, Frankie, it's because you weren't eating fat.
Your deathbed, if you have cancer, if you're literally dying, this is what you would do, hypothetically. There's a big discrepancy between myself and the average person who is skating by eating McDonald's every day.
So, were you in the hospital, on the operating table, getting a liver transplant? Or did you just look up the symptoms that you were having and immediately assume, oh, okay, I have liver failure? Because sometimes what could be considered high for someone could be low for someone else. Some people need different ranges in their blood for liver enzymes, right? Maybe your liver enzymes were only a little high because that's how your lab marked it. Maybe it wasn't high at all. And maybe for your body type, your liver enzymes were actually perfect. So you're assuming you had fatty liver or liver failure rather? Are you assuming that? Or did you actually end up in the hospital on the operating table with somebody gouging your old liver out and putting a new one in? And hoping to God you survived the surgery. Was that what happened? Did they have to take part of your liver out? Because I think, if I'm remembering right, I thought I heard something about you can actually regrow your liver if they take a certain amount of it off. You can actually regrow that bit. I could be wrong on that, though. Let me know.
Yeah, they're probably, not physically healthy, feeling good, their brain's not functioning, but, at least they're not
Your brain isn't functioning, buddy.
suffering severely from a health perspective because of some factors we'll talk about. Now, I've never actually looked up the definition of diminishing returns. My understanding of it is from playing World of Warcraft as a kid. That's a whole different story. It means loosely, the more you put into something, you don't necessarily get an equivalent amount back. Like if you're
Uh-huh. Um, I guess I get what you mean, but you're clearly not getting the results you were hoping to get on your diet, Frankie. Dude, my naturopath actually told me my ferritin should be around 80. That's more than double what you wanted yours to be. 30 is a horrific number. Mine is higher than yours. And I feel great. I have stamina. I have strength. My heart pumps better. I think the liver is pumping up my ferritin. And I'm going to keep eating it as a result of that. By the way, the blood is returning to my face, and I think I'm probably really pinked up now at this point. So, once I see the freaking naturopath, they're probably going to be like, whoa. What did you do? You dressed yourself up for the occasion or what? I'd be like, nope. One word. Beef, well, two words. Beef liver. I wonder what they're going to say. They'll probably be like, well, I'm glad that works then. And let's hope they're not going to want to take all the other stuff. I don't know. Because beef liver actually has a lot. It even has vitamin C. Ground beef has vitamin C. So, meat has vitamin C. So, you didn't have scurvy. You didn't have liver failure. So, Frankie, unless you were actually in liver failure from the Accutane, I'm not buying it. Like, no, liver failure is like you're literally in pain, like in that region. You do ultrasounds and your liver is like looking not good. Like probably swollen up, got fat all around it. You can see, like, dude, did you get ultrasounds? Did you get scans of any kind? No? Then you can't just automatically assume you had liver failure just because maybe your enzymes were high a little bit.
And you want to hydrate and drink some water, once you drink a certain amount of water, you're hydrated. If you keep drinking water, you're not necessarily going to get more hydrated. So,
exactly. That's one thing you got right. Don't drink too much water, people. Drink when you're thirsty and stop when you're not. Don't overdo it with the water. There's deuterium in water. And if you're if you're eating fat, which you should eat fat because fat does help with constipation. And I think the liver is also helping me with that too because I can't tell sometimes when I need to go. The muscles there aren't giving, the nerves and muscles aren't giving me the right signals. So I don't know when I need to go or if, or, I think that's the problem with me. So eat the fat because fat helps you go. And you make your own water if you eat fat. There's the way it breaks down. Yes, you can still drink water. Just don't drink those 64 ounces of water a day that they tell you. Or God forbid, 2 liters. I don't even know how many ounces that is.
the theme today is, if you necessarily put 100% into diet, it's not going to make up for drinking crappy water. That's not how it works. You want to get to a certain percentage with all of them to ultimately feel good. That being said, some of them are more important than others. Being 100% perfect on your diet and 0% on sunlight is better.
You're not eating the perfect diet. You're not. You're not. You sounded much more full of life on carnivore. That's why I have to speed you up. This, I think, was the way you talked on carnivore, the way I have you right now. Now, you talk like you're on a drug. I don't know what you're taking, Frankie, but it's bad. It's getting really bad. You need to stop it.
And 50% on diet and 50% on sunlight. But overall, the point is you want to be as aware and as close as realistically possible to being optimal with each of these components. So you guys can see them listed here. diet, water, EMF, air, sun, exercise. Didn't have room for sleep on here, and I did want to apologize for the glare from my window. I gotta look up, maybe there's some type of board that doesn't reflect, but it's very difficult to get natural light in a room and not have it reflect on a whiteboard. So I look a little better, but it's a little hard to read. So most of you know what diet I currently follow. It's a very restrictive liver detox, but
It's not a restrictive liver detox. It's a standard American diet. Full of carbs. Loads and loads and loads of carbs. So many carbs. Your poor liver is probably definitely entering failure. With all that fructose, you think you're detoxing your liver by consuming all this fructose and glucose? You eat apples. Guess what's in apples? Fructose. Guess how fructose is broken down? Liver. So don't go telling us that you're eating the perfect diet possible, because you're not. You're not. I don't even think I could call my diet the perfect diet possible. I think it's the most optimal, but is it perfect? No. No. Because I don't know what's going on with my I'm okay. Because I'm eating meat that is from a farm and not from like the forest or something, right? And I cook it. Okay, I cook it. But the thing is, I cook it in an actual regulated temperature. So I don't have it on the burners like the stovetop elements, because the stovetop elements, I've noticed something. I cook it on an induction cooktop. I keep the temperature at a steady 300 Fahrenheit. That cooks it actually quite decently. And the butter never burns at 300. Whereas if I was to cook on the stovetop elements, eventually the meat would get really, really hard, really bland. It just loses all of its flavor. If you cook it on this cooktop, it's gonna obtain a lot of that, and I think it's healthier to eat it that way than it is to eat it on the stovetop elements, where the temperature just goes up, 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 up. But I'm not saying my diet is perfect. No diet is perfect, because some people don't want to be strict on meat. I'm not even really that strict with meat, because I will eat other things too. Sometimes I'll have cheese, yogurt, I'll drink kombucha, I'll have cocoa. It's a zero fiber diet. You don't want fiber, by the way, either, Frankie, because fiber does nothing for the liver. It does nothing.
the standard American diet perspective, most people want to.
You are eating standard American diet. You are. French fries with your steak sandwich or whatever the heck it was. Burgers and French fries, Frankie. Yup, that's standard American diet.
Switch to high quality foods, organic, grass
Doesn't matter, it's still standard American diet.
fed, high quality, like corn and soy free eggs, high quality local dairy. We have that on Frankie's Strange Meat, that type of stuff. Eat a balanced diet of meats, grains, some fruits and vegetables here and there.
Standard American diet.
You guys can check out my food pyramid video for the more restrictive version of a healthy diet, but what I said right now.
Carnivore. Carnivore. Because humans are obligate carnivores. Yes, we have the enzymes to break down starch. But that doesn't mean we're supposed to eat them every day, because they make us fat for a reason. Starches make us fat because we ate them to put on weight for times when we wouldn't have meat around. And because when the winter months would come too, like we'd be it would be very cold. So we'd put on a bunch of weight, a bunch of fat in particular, to get our fat stores up for the winter months, so that we can, fast if we have to for days and days. Now, we're eating starches every single day, and telling our body, hey, we need to eat starches every day because we're constantly in this famine state. There's nothing. No, you're going to get too fat, and then you're going to get fat around the liver. You're going to get fat around your pancreas. Do you really want this, Frankie? You probably already have diabetes. Your A1C should not be anywhere above 5.5. Just saying.
It's a very good first step for most people because they're able to keep the foods they enjoy in their life. It's just they have to invest a little more time.
It's not about enjoyment. It's about survival, Frankie. You just told on yourself. You didn't go on this diet for a liver detox. No, you went on this diet for carbs all day.
Time or money in buying higher quality stuff and preparing it themselves. Getting to 100% on a diet would be easy if it was just about following food choices, but drinking.
Dude, you're not following any kind of good choices. Just saying.
Properly made probiotics, taking the right vitamin and mineral supplements.
This is not the proper diet. Do you see other animals eating, I don't know, let's say, okay. So let's say, do you see carnivores eating their own poop? Do you see carnivores eating little pills, taking little pills? Do you see carnivores licking salt rocks 24/7 almost? Do you see carnivores doing that? Now the plant-based creatures, yeah, they will eat poop sometimes. The babies in particular, they eat poop. I know it's gross, but bear with me here. They eat poop because their systems aren't yet fully developed, so they have to eat the poop of the mother. Because the milk doesn't always provide everything. And the food. And so they need something that's less taxing on the system. That is the way plant-based eaters do it. So are you saying we should be eating poop? Is that what you're saying? We shouldn't be taking supplements. Oh, but the soil's so depleted. The soil's so Look, where I get my meat from, the animals are I think it's actually, you're supposed to be giving your animals salt blocks. Because cows in particular, deer and things like that, you'll see deer in the wild licking salt. You will find deer licking salt. So, but that's the only supplement we really, really need is salts. If you think your diet should be based around huge bundles of supplements, it's not the proper human diet. Every single day taking supplements, that's not the proper human diet. The proper human diet consists of meat, fatty red meat, and salt. Eggs if you can handle it, cheese if you can handle it, water. Plants if you like them, I guess, but fibrous plants, definitely not. I don't eat fibrous plants anymore because bowels.
And a few other things can really hold people back. You know, if it was easy to just eat healthy from a conventional perspective, most people would have done it already. Second, we have water. And I haven't done any videos dedicated to water in a while now, maybe even a year or two.
We already know. Get your stupid $5,000 reverse osmosis machine. Yep, been there, done. Well, I can't buy one because, I mean, where would I put it? My apartment's tiny.
Besides talking trash about You guys remember the New York City mayor sucking down that fluoridated tap water, telling people to stay hydrated, and how good New York City, Freudian slip, huh? New York City water, how good it is for you. Although I do mention water a lot in most of my videos.
You need a filter on your tap. You should be putting filters, at least on your tap, if not in under the sink. If you know how to install those things, put one of those in there. You need a filter on your tap to filter out the crap in the water. What about this do people not understand? Good gosh.
You want to be drinking water that is free from pollutants, obviously fluoride, chlorine, there's antibiotic and birth control.
This is what I've been wanting to get water that's been free of fluoride. I've been wanting to get a filter, but the only thing that we have here is Brita, and I don't think Brita filters out fluoride at all. And I don't have room for a reverse osmosis machine because I only have so much counter space. So I don't know. I don't even know if it's worth spending my money on one of those either. The only filter you could get goes in the sink, and I don't think I can just install something like that. I mean, I could ask, but I don't know if the landlord would let me do that. I don't even know if the plumber would be willing to put that kind of thing in for me. But I'll definitely check in. I'll ask and see what they think. But yeah. You definitely want to filter out the chlorine. Brita is pretty good with that. Yeah, but Frankie, you're making it so much harder than it needs to be.
Residues, molecules, and chemicals from plastics and manufacturing. A lot of you guys are asking me about filtration systems, whatever it is. I don't care what you're filtering that water through. You got to get it from a well, glass bottle mineral water, spring water.
Not everybody has access to a well, smart dude. Smart dude. Smart dude. I tried to say dude funny, but didn't come out right. Not everyone has access to a well, buddy. Sorry. Smart Alec.
Water, because regardless of how much you filter your water source, hey, you can shower with it, you can clean your dishes with it, you can clean your clothes with it, but do not drink it. The most significant thing I overlook in regards to water is the food sources that contain water.
I guess, but I don't recommend juices. Fructose.
Organic bread you're buying is made with fluoridated water, New York City tap water, you're throwing away a lot of your efforts. It's kind of silly. You're spending all this money on food, mineral water, and then you eat a bagel that fluoridates your brain. So it's better to make things.
Bagels are not healthy. Do I really need to keep pushing this into your head?
Yourself if you can't confirm the water source. One thing you guys probably saw me doing for a while was buying organic bread from the supermarket when the rest of my diet was completely homemade from scratch. I'm rinsing my freaking plates in water. So just be mindful of that. If you're all the way there, you might as well put in a little more effort. So next up we have EMF, which stands for electric and magnetic fields. However, the most significant form of EMF that we should be concerned about is radio frequency radiation, which is from Wi-Fi, cell towers, most modern devices people are using, whether it's Amazon Alexa.
Oh my god. This shit. Sorry. Swore again. Holy crap. Sorry, I'm really letting loose. I don't know what's going on with me lately. This dude is really getting to me, I think. I don't think I can continue reacting to him. I don't think I can. If I'm gonna want to not swear, I think I'm gonna have to stop reacting to him. Oh my lord. Lucky I'm not gonna be monetized anytime soon. I think YouTube is still sketchy about swear words, even despite some of the stuff I've seen about YouTube and swear words. But anyways, what I'm saying is, I don't think it's that significant to the point it completely ruins you for the rest of your life, because if that were the case, then my dad would definitely have cancer and my mom would know because she sleeps with him in the same room. And I mention that because not every married couple does. But yeah, they sleep together in the same room. I'm pretty sure she would notice lumps on him somewhere because he sits right next to the router. Okay? Right next to it. So, yeah, I don't think we have that much. I don't think it should be that much of a concern. Yeah. So, I think people are making it so much more of a big deal. Now, if you're eating standard American diet, you probably are more likely to get cancer from radiation. But this is non-ionizing radiation we're talking here. If you were dealing with ionizing radiation, like from x-rays and stuff, yeah, I would worry. Stop with this, guys. Just stop.
Or Netflix. And back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, before cell phones, the low radiation was why a lot of people were so much healthier. We were still being poisoned in other ways, but since then, especially with AirPods.
I'm sure those TVs with the little antennas on the top, I'm sure they emitted radiation. Did they not? Can someone back me up here? I'm sure their radiation was quite strong from the antenna. Like, how else would they get the signal from the stations, right? The radios and all that stuff. They had radiation too. Come on.
And all this new technology and smart stuff, it has increased a lot. And radiation impairs all organs, digestion, sleep.
I don't think to the extent that he's saying it does. Now, I'm thinking about doing a radiation minimization. I don't know how else to word it other than radiation minimization period, where I turn off the Wi-Fi and just use the Ethernet. I've thought about trying that for a week. I want to see if I'm affected at all by it. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I definitely can't completely turn off the radiation all the time because I text my parents every once in a while, right? So I have to, because I check in with them and because I still, care about them. Yeah. Frankie, I think if I was unhealthy, eating the carnivore diet, I definitely should be in liver failure right now, as we speak. Definitely, because, and I should be in pain, liver failure type of pain. It takes only a year for the liver to change. It really does. I think I should definitely have a gut on me, it should be like a small gut, but it would be there. I should have a small gut. I should have liver failure going on. I should have lumps all over my body. I should be having extreme fatigue, even despite eating the liver that I've been eating. Frankie, if I get extreme fatigue now, it's because I am not sleeping enough at night to get all the sleep I need. And the reason for that is actually because I'm a woman, and we women have things that happen. Okay? There are things that change in our body, and, By the way, you ain't getting me, buddy. You ain't getting me. I don't want you. I don't want you feeding me your crap. I'm eating carnivore, okay? So you can shove it.
Energy, so if you're not sure why you're unhealthy, go camping in the woods for a day or two without technology, and then when you feel like a new person, you can say, okay, maybe it wasn't some
Did you do that? Did you do that? Did you go camping for 2 days? No, you did the stupidest things possible, putting freaking paint, this kind of paint on your house, and what is no.
conspiracy tinfoil stuff when Frank talks about radiation. So what I do is I wear protective clothing throughout the day. I have
Yeah, I'm sure it works wonders.
my WiFiShielding.com attire underneath my freshly.
You're just doing this for bragging rights. Oh my god. At least when I talk about being carnivore and how I feel, I'm not doing it because I'm bragging. I'm doing it because I want to educate people that carnivore does not make you feel like crap. In the first, few days to couple of weeks, yeah, because you're withdrawing from the carbs. Carbs.
Pressed dress shirt and slacks, and then you want to sleep in a canopy. So we have bed canopies on WiFiShielding.com too. I think they're out of stock right now. I also did a video on how to build a Faraday cage. But by doing those two minimally invasive things, it's no real effort to.
Tell me I am OCD without telling me I'm OCD. That's basically what you're saying about yourself, Frankie. You're just basically telling on yourself that you have like this OCD type thing where you can't be comfortable enough in your own body. Everything. And I'm sure like your stomach is still not doing well. How cuz back during that restaurant vlog you were saying, "Oh, my stomach's been messed up for a few weeks." And I bet you it still is. You know why? Because I think your liver is actually starting to go into failure for real. Like it's not doing the proper release of bile because you're feeding it all that fructose and oh my lord.
An undershirt, it's no real effort to sleep in a canopy, maybe a little money investment, you'll feel better. You could be in the middle of New York City in an apartment and you might have to pay for more stuff, but you can still get a pretty high percentage of the way there.
You sleep in this canopy thing, but yet you complain of not sleeping good. Buddy, wake up. Like mentally, come on. Wake up and listen to yourself. Your advice isn't even working for yourself. What you're doing isn't even working for you.
By doing that, you don't have to be in the boondocks, sleeping in the woods. Ground at least once per day. So this is kind of separate from the electric and magnetic field stuff, but being in physical contact with the earth.
It's not that I'm against this, but this in particular is touted way too much, as if something magical is going to happen. What's going to happen that I need to do this right now? Why, okay? Why do I need to go out in the grass in my bare feet? Okay, what significance does this have? What does this do? I don't feel any difference. I did it as a kid before. I would walk outside in the grass with my bare feet. Nothing really felt that much different. Just that it felt weird on my feet because I wasn't used to it. Right? I didn't feel anything different being bare feet in the grass. What is the significance of this?
We also have grounding rods and wires on Wi-Fi shielding. If you guys are not familiar with that, you plug a metal rod into your ground, the ground outside, just like the electricity in your house is grounded. You ever touch a light switch and you get shocked? That's because the light switch is attached to the earth via a ground, and your body is discharging that positive electricity into the light switch.
Oh my lord. No, I can't get behind that. Don't do that.
That's why you need to ground every day. That's very, very significant. And if you are in a low EMF area, definitely just check out my grounding video.
Could you imagine? Okay. Now I know it's not actually connected to a power grid, but could you imagine sticking that thing down in there? You attach yourself.
To go more in depth on that because I don't want to get too into that today. I don't want to go too in depth on everything. We have videos for every single thing I'm talking about here, even for things like air quality. Although over the past few years, I've been focusing on it from a simpler perspective of opening your windows up. However, with the recent nonsense in New York being poisoned by the Goon Squad, there are definitely more people.
I'll agree New York isn't the best place to be, but honestly, buddy, you gotta make do with what you have, and you can't, you're too obsessive. You've got some kind of OCD stuff going on or something. Clearly. I don't want to live with somebody who can't even keep their own life together.
Precautions that need to be taken, such as air filtration in the home, wearing masks in polluted areas, driving.
Yay, Mass 2023, when the whole virus thing is kind of dialed down now and there's no real, okay.
Heavy traffic in cities, you want to wear a mask too. The average CO2 level in most areas, even outside, seems to be way too high because of what they are doing to our atmosphere. So
oh no, CO2. We're gonna die in a matter of minutes if we don't do something. Look, the only problem I see with the CO2 is if you're going out there and you're starting to feel like headaches and fatigue and this big drowsiness sort of feeling. If you're walking out there and you're not feeling any of that, you're fine. You're fine. It's when you start actually feeling symptoms of like headache and fatigue and things like that, and you just start feeling weird. Like you can't get I don't know. From what it sounds like to me, it sounds like CO2, when you breathe enough in, actually makes you feel like you can't get a good breath or something. Because I know it's odorless, right? So you'd have to go by how you feel. All right, like, I don't know. This is, I can't.
Exploring some options. Right now where I moved, the air quality isn't as bad significantly, but there are still some pretty hard days. I have air filters running inside. I've looked into oxygen tanks and
You see this? Can you hear how obsessive he is? Tell me you have OCD without telling me you have OCD. By the way, carnivore, full-fat carnivore, would have treated this OCD compulsion to a huge extent. You would be so much better, guaranteed. You are constantly anxious and constantly obsessing over this stuff. You have to stop. You're gonna drive everybody. You're driving me crazy. I swore in both my latest videos of you. The last one I did of you, and now this one. You're making this harder than it needs to be.
Grade stuff. Maybe you guys know more about that. Unless you pretend you're a welder, you need a medical prescription. So they also keep hypothetical solutions to what they're doing very hard to access. Not everyone's going to be able to buy a $500 oxygen tank and have some relief when this type of stuff happens.
What is wrong with you? Seriously, what broke inside your head to make you go all nuts like this? What broke? What broke? Seriously, this is ridiculous. Trust me, that the one word I'm not going to say is the actual R word, so we're fine there, okay, guys?
So, again, if you guys know more about that stuff, besides like buying small cans of oxygen that are very expensive or beyond air filtration, I think
you don't. This is another thing too. You're not helping your liver by eating fructose and drinking vodka and liquor. You're not helping your liver, buddy. You're gonna wish you'd stayed on carnivore and upped your fat. You're gonna wish when you realize that this diet is actually not helping. I've been on this diet. I mainly ate starches and things because a lot of my diet was, granted it wasn't as much meat, but it was, starches, Rice Krispies in the morning with milk. And the milk did have fat, low-fat milk though. I had like granola bars, low fat. Again, there was barely any fat in these things. Sandwiches, it was very starch-based. You would approve of that, right? Oh, but it wasn't organic. That's why you weren't feeling so good. It's standard American diet is my point. And no, I wouldn't have felt good even if I did eat the organic. I didn't feel any different. Nothing changed.
Because oxygen tanks aren't really that expensive. I think just getting access to them and finding a reasonable solution is something I can explore in the future, because not everyone can just hop out of the city and relocate. Sunlight. Our bodies need vitamin D for a variety of hormones.
Yeah, but you know what, Frankie? You also need fat, and you're not going to synthesize any vitamin D from the sun if you don't take in fat. You take in no fat, none whatsoever. None. None. I bet your gallbladder's screaming at you. Help me, I need fat before I die. And then I have to be taken out of you. I don't want to be taken out of you.
As well as keeping fat-soluble vitamin ratios in balance for overall health and development. The natural process of recycling the skin during tanning is critical in vitamin balance.
You mean damaging your skin through tanning? You can damage it, you know. The tanning beds in particular can damage you. I don't no. You don't recycle the skin either in the sunlight. You recycle it through eating. You rebuild it by eating the proper diet. Lots of collagen, lots of fat, and very, very little in the way of plants. Come on.
Because it uses up a lot of the nutrient stores that our bodies keep for this purpose of skin recycling specifically. And sun isn't as important as the previous three because you can literally be poisoning yourself with these first few. However, getting the sun might be your final step in feeling better. You know, the diet, the water, the radiation, the air quality, you could literally be coughing your lungs out and feel like you're dying. Yeah, you know, most people go a lot of their lives without getting any sun whatsoever, and they're seemingly not falling apart. You know, again, it's very, very important. You definitely want to get as much sun as possible, but it's not as severely damaging to your health if you don't. Moving on to exercise. Depending on your job and physical goals, exercise might not be necessary, and the type of exercise is subjective. If you work a physical labor job, construction...
You wonder why you're tired all the time, Frankie. You're not eating the proper diet to keep you going. You definitely avoid beef liver, which, by the way, isn't harmful if you're eating a lot of fat. Cholesterol is protective, Frankie. Look into it more. Watch Ivor Cummins.
Even a waiter or bartender where you're on your feet moving a lot all day, you're getting plenty of physical activity. If you work a desk job, however, then you probably need to consider an exercise routine seriously. Outside of that,
I'm not opposed to exercise, just not to the extremes that a lot of people do. And Frankie, you're not on you can't exercise with the diet you're doing. No, you can't. You're too malnourished. Look, you donated blood when your ferritin was only 50. Come on.
helpful to build up a base of muscle mass with a hypertrophy program. So even when you stop working out, you'll maintain most of it. 1 to 2 years of hard work in the gym will stick with you for the rest of your life. I think I've spoken about this before when I did the
I don't think so. I never heard of that. I don't think so because I lost a bunch of weight. Because I wasn't moving around and I feel like my arms are shrinking. It's just, no.
exercise stuff. If you're doing construction and you've never really worked out in the gym in your life, you're building up a lot of tendon strength, ligament strength, and bones. And you do that still after weightlifting. It's just if you don't build up the muscle in the gym and stimulate it and get that mind-muscle connection going, if you do that, you'll go from stressing your other tissues in your body besides your muscles a lot less. I'm mincing words here. However, you'll be able to stimulate the muscles a lot easier when you're doing your physical labor job if you have the base of muscle. The muscle will take the stress.
Oh my goodness. Tell me your diet isn't working without telling me your diet isn't working.
Off the tendons, off the ligaments, off of the other parts of your body. So there is a degree of training that you want to do. You don't have to exactly be a bodybuilder, but you want to have an even amount of muscle development. We have that maximum volume hypertrophy routine on frankie.com if you guys want to check it out. Sleep, as I said earlier, I didn't have room on here for this. Obviously, the most important.
You don't know what you're talking about, Frankie. You don't know crap about crap. To quote one thing Bart K says that I am gonna say for fact is your opinions are like an a-hole. Everybody has one. Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody has one. And most of them are always filled with crap. You, Frankie, have a bunch of opinions and they're full of crap. Just saying. Just like your a-hole.
Good. Everyone knows how they feel if they don't sleep. The other lifestyle factors determine your sleep. So if your diet is good, if you're sleeping in the EMF canopy, Faraday cage, low radiation environment, if the air quality is...
Oh my goodness, I gotta sleep in this whole protective thing because, oh my gosh, the world is awful.
Pure enough. If you're active a few hours a day to keep your gut motility moving and make sure the food's digested before you go to bed, you should sleep like a baby. The modern solutions to sleep issues are not addressing the root cause. Although there are specifics in each of these categories that can be done for sleep that I didn't mention. Maybe in the diet, you need some mastic gum and charcoal before bed. Maybe for the radiation, you need...
No, don't take that crap, because guess what's going to happen? You are going to deplete minerals. Don't take it. Do not take it. Don't ever take that crap. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Activated charcoal is not healthy at all. Don't do it. It's not supposed to be taken after food. Do not take it. Holy crap.
Test the levels. If you can't breathe, you're not obviously going to be able to sleep if the air quality is bad enough. Getting a lot of sun can help you sleep. And we said exercise too can help you sleep. But
oh my Lord, Frankie. Your diet is... Frankie, you're following this advice and you're still not sleeping good. So what is that telling you, buddy?
If you guys watch other videos on my channel, you can get more of an idea of each of these things in depth and understand what you specifically need to do. So I guess that's everything for today. Thank you guys for joining me.
All right, well, that's the insanity that Frank Tufano has for us today. I'm sorry I swore again, but I can't with him anymore. I think that is a sign that I need to stop reacting to him. So I gotta find somebody new. That guy that was climbing mountains, I thought the video was gonna be a little more interesting. I thought it was gonna be a full family thing with like a mother and a few children and like just hiking in the mountains or whatever. And well, I mean, not really in because they were climbing, but I don't know. But anyways, that's it. That's what I have. Like I think Frankie's just gone off the rails entirely, and there's no coming back now. I had a little glimmer of hope that maybe he thought, oh, on one hand I could probably just be killing my liver with the fructose. But now there's just no coming back. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. Wow. He's really convinced himself that he's doing the right thing. He's not doing the right thing. You can tell. And it's not even working for him. Yet he's going to tell us that it works. Wow. Eat like me to sleep as badly as me is basically what he's saying at the end there. So anyways, I will see you in the next video. I'm going to look for somebody else. Maybe somebody else I can laugh a little bit more with. And yeah, we will see you soon. Bye, guys. Carps.